HQC 2025 here at Toyota headquarters, North America in Plano, Texas. Toyota has a slew of new and updated products for 2025 as 2026 model years. New reveals, if you look back there, we got the BZ Woodland, refresh BZ4X, the new RAV4, of course. I mean, that's really one of the biggest showcases of this event. But let's not forget about the updated 2026 Corolla Cross. We get some nice new features, new styling updates, not only in the gas model, but the hybrid. So let's get into it. First thing we're gonna do is break down the styling between these two models. On pictures, I was really dogging on the gas model. This is what the new gas model looks like up front. It looks a little bit better in person than it does in video and in pictures, so I will give it that. However, the front end here on the hybrid looks so much more premium, way more upscale. I like this honeycomb spindle. I call it it's similar to what Lexus does with the RX, for example. The Crown Signy has a very similar grille, where the grille fades out into the bumper, all right, as it's a hybrid, all right? So it's kind of a significant saying that we're a little bit in the gasoline focused era, but we're moving towards that more electrified era with this hybrid powertrain, if that makes sense. We got the fog lights here on both models, and coming to the side, I mean, it still looks the same. We do have new wheel designs for these models. The XSE having these nice blacked out wheels, 18 inches on both of these grades, blacked out garnishes on the back, black Toyota logo, XSE badge, Beyond Zero hybrid, all-wheel drive standard, still in the Corolla Cross, which is interesting because the RAV4 now has optional front-wheel drive on the hybrids. The Corolla Cross, a cheaper model, still doesn't offer front-wheel drive hybrid. I don't, maybe in the future. I know in other markets they offer it. I like the roof rails here. I like the blacked out two-tone roof on this XSE model. And as we come to the inside, just keep in mind the Corolla Cross's biggest weakness, I would say, is that it does have a pretty limited back seat legroom. But honestly, it's 6'1", not bad here. And headroom's not bad either. Folding the armrest down is great. We have USB-Cs down at the bottom, vents in the back. Honestly, like, if I remember the HR-V from Honda, I don't even know if they have vents, USBs, or an armrest. So they're doing it right there. Other competition, you know, like the Koreans have great features in the back as well. So Corolla Cross Hybrid still is the only hybrid in its segment. And we'll talk about some of the updates in there, but let's get under the hood. Ooh, that popped up a little slow. Opening the hood, heavy steel hood here. 2-liter hybrid, 196 horsepower that we see in the Prius all-wheel drive models, okay? And we also see this similar powertrain in the Lexus UX 300H. You should be able to get for around 40 miles per gallon in here, and it is probably the best powertrain by far in this segment, all right? And now the Corolla Cross looks, and especially in the hybrid form, it looks so good. Looks like a smaller version of the new RAV4. All right, let's get on the front. You know, materials are not the strong point of the Corolla Cross, I will say that, but the seats are quite nice, kind of this soft cloth interior with Softex synthetic leather surrounding it. Leather wrapped steering wheel. Do I have a key in here? No key, but this is all different and it is better. Climate control is the same. This is the new 10.5-inch touchscreen. And I love that we still have climate control, physical buttons and knobs, because the new RAV4 does not. And I am not that thrilled about it, all right? But these volume buttons here, I'd rather have a volume knob. So that's kind of a miss here, but the 10-inch screen is a nice update for sure. We also have a better relocation of a lot of stuff down here, like the wireless chargers, easier to access. The heated seat buttons are easier to access. I think last year they're all like tucked back here, hard to find. Heated steering wheel is great. Drive mode's all right there. Traditional shifter, USB-C to do wired Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. That's great. Cup holders. This just seems so much more functional. Now, I do see glossy black around here. Hopefully that doesn't blind me, but honestly, they made it far more functional and I love it. I really enjoyed I feel like this is an old school steering wheel. You even have paddle shifters to row through this synthetic gears. Now, these top trims, the XLE and this XSE, have a fully digital gauge cluster back here. I want to say it's a 12-inch screen, and that's awesome to have that sort of upgrade here for 2026. You still have the optional JBL, And I think that's just about it. We have one more USB-C in here, so that's a total of 4 USB-Cs in this vehicle, a 12-volt sunroof, and yeah, I've always been a big fan of the Corolla Cross. It's really easy to get out of there. A lot of ground clearance here. Big fan of the Corolla Cross, now more than ever due to the updates on the inside, especially the updates on the outside. I really like the styling here on the new Corolla Cross Hybrid, but stay tuned for my walk around on the Camry Nightshade. I'll be driving actually the Corolla FX, I believe, here in a little bit. Stay tuned for that. There's the new TRD Pro color, new RAV4, new CHR, just so much cool stuff. There's more Lexus and Toyota stuff that I got to share with you guys here on this event. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Peace.